What's up, everybody? Happy Monday, February 3rd. Ladies and gentlemen, February 3rd. Week before the Super Bowl. 1 week before the Super Bowl. Welcome to another episode of Command This. Tonight, we're calling this one Season Autopsy. We're going to break it down, and we're going to do position by position grades, giving our opinion, and we'll talk to you guys in the chat about it. So that's what we're doing today. Then we'll talk about the name a little bit, and then we'll talk about some Myles Garrett and some Cooper Kupp. See what you guys think about it.
And the Grammys.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't watch a damn thing. All I saw was Kanye's wife was butt naked almost. That's
in the news. Showing a public hair.
I'm joined by Dev and Phil, the homies who carried it last Thursday while I was out being a dad. So appreciate it, guys. But yeah, man. Did you guys watch any of the Pro Bowl festivities over the weekend?
Not at all.
You know,
no.
I said that, but I casually watched it. And the quarterback, the new quarterback challenge, whatever they're calling it, skills test, that was kind of cool to watch Jared Goff, Sam Darnold, and Joe Burrow throw those.
Do we have anybody playing it?
No, not that I know of. Like I said, I only casually watched the football game, but then there was trivia, there was agility drills. Then the flag football game I watched the first quarter. It was mildly entertaining, but it's just so watered down now. I don't know what the deal with the Pro Bowl is anymore, to be honest with you. I really don't. But it's all good though. You weren't really missing anything if you missed it, and none of our players played anyways. So there you go. But yeah, since you guys didn't see it, I guess there's no need to talk about it anymore. But if you guys saw it in the chat, let us know. Tia, what's going on? Redskins girl. What's up, fellas in chat? Marcus, Sports View 2. Also, make sure you go check it out on Facebook. Says, what's up, family? How you doing, Marcus? I hope you're doing all right, man. Well, yeah, I guess Marcus. We'll be live on Instagram and Uno Momento. But fellas, what do y'all think about our guys not participating in any of the Pro Bowl activities? Do you care?
You couldn't give a damn. I'm too busy right now.
Too busy doing what?
I am taking a victory lap.
Why are you taking a victory lap, man? What happened?
Because the name ain't changing again, and I told you all this shit. Oh!
The name ain't changing.
What's that noise? Know that noise.
Well, and we'll talk further. We'll talk a little more about this.
I told you guys.
At the end of the show, we'll talk about the name, and we'll show the clip from Josh Harris and what he said and what that possibly means for the name going forward. But
no, you know what it means?
We know what it means.
It's Commanders.
We know what
it means. It's Commanders until forever, unless they find a way to make that somehow be racist against some group.
Yeah.
Not everyone can command. I don't know. Not everyone can be a Seahawk either. Yeah, that hasn't been changed. I don't know. That's true.
Let me one more post here from the old socials, and then we'll get right on our merry way. There we go. All right, I think we've posted as much as we can post. Nobody watched the Pro Bowl. I watched a little bit. If y'all in the chat watched any of it, let me know how you thought it went. I thought it was a little bit cool. Shotguns, what's going on? Phil on a Molly. Yeah, Phil's just a little happy there, man. He's a little bit happy.
I don't want to hear no damn Red Wolf, Red Hog. I don't want to hear none of that. It's dead.
This is what they call in
dead.
No. This is what they call, what we call in the old days a hater. You know what I'm saying? The hater.
Okay.
Player haters ball. Champion.
Player hater.
Always got something to say, like, okay, player hater, right here.
What's up, Jason? How you doing, buddy?
Hey.
Checking in from Facebook. Hey. I feel the same way about the Super Bowl as I do the Pro Bowl. Fuck it. I mean, Who are you guys rooting for the Super Bowl? Def,
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar. Yeah.
You're rooting for
By the way, what a
Kendrick.
Grammy for this song, man. By the way, everybody's saying that's the first song ever nominated for a Grammy off of this song. That is not true. Crisscross's Jump was a diss song to another Black Rachel. Did not win, but was nominated.
It had a shade line.
No, I had
It
a
was
bunch
not
of
a
them.
diss song.
Yeah, the whole song. Don't try to compare us to another bad little fad on the map.
That's the only. That's the
No,
only
it ain't.
line.
No, it
That's the
ain't.
only
I put my
line.
pants to the back with a little slack because inside out is wiggy, wiggy, wiggity whack. At the very end, he says, because there's something to make this. And Dummy's going around saying that it's mental. That's a whole diss to fucking Bell Biv DeVoe and Olive, dog. The whole song's a diss song. The entire song, Jump, is a diss song. It's another
I
back.
wouldn't say the entire song is a diss song, but
It
okay.
is. It is. Even at the end, believe that they do their nose like another boy at creation does. Whole thing.
Man, ABC was dope though. That was
Yeah. Aisha, you what? I don't know the words.
oh man, was it Roro?
Row.
Coming in third.
Yeah.
Now it's about that time that I get hurt. And none of my rhymes will
I think I
ever be
did that
swerved.
in the talent show.
Her
I
face tricks on your
or something,
nerves.
dog.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
ABC.
Michael Bivins was on one in about 1990, wasn't
Bro,
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
on a
finding
bunch.
people. He was the
BBD.
modern day
he?
JD.
You leave
Yeah.
New Edition, you form BBD with two
Boys to
members.
Men.
You
Boys to
discover Boys to Men. You discover ABC. And they had another one. too.
BBD.
No, there was
That
another
girl
one.
is poison.
He
The
was rooting
whole
for the
East
Chiefs.
Coast family.
He was.
Oh,
I'm telling you,
another
he
group, too.
he was doing what Jermaine Dupri eventually did, but Michael Bivins was
Hey, he
doing it
did
first.
it till Crisscross dissed him. Jump. Yeah. Believe that.
Chiefs. Jason says Chiefs never rooting for a division rival. Yeah, I'll root for Saquon because I really like Saquon. Like,
Biv 10, yeah, because he
as a
had Biv
person.
10 records.
yeah.
Let's see.
Jack Attack, what's up, Jack? Good evening, bro. Thanks for tuning in, man. Marcus says Kansas City Chiefs hit him up, and neither No Vaseline, 3 of the best diss songs
Yep.
ever.
Those weren't nominated though. The greatest diss song ever in my opinion. I know it's got to be. We got to probably give it to Kendrick now, but I still say hit him up. Still, I even think the story of Adidon is a better diss song, man. But this one took the fuck out. It was perfect time.
Jason said, imagine technology sticking with the logo would be yours. We're going to talk about that later. And, different options they can do. The name's not coming, but they maybe will do something with the logo. But there's all the renderings on Twitter of like this. There's so many
I
things you
love
can
that
do.
spirit back, bro.
Honestly,
things you can do.
of all the diss songs Kendrick released, I still like Euphoria better.
I love
Like,
it. Parents,
As a diss, I like that beat. I get it. Like, Not Like Us goes hard in the club, but
And then a tailgate.
Euphoria goes hard anywhere else.
Yeah.
I love that song. I mean, I heard that and I was like, oh my God.
I still think story of Adidon.
It's a great song to lift to, too. It gets
Gets you hype.
Get you hype.
Get you hype. All right, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We're going to talk about position grades, and we want to hear what you have to say about all these position grades as we go along. So what we're going to do, we're going to roll through all the positions, have a little chat about each one, talk about the people, their performances, and then we'll slap a grade on them, and we'll see where we stand, and we'll move on. We'll do it to the next one. So let's get off on this journey, and starting us off for the first position group. Where are we going to start, fellas? We're going to start. I think we're going to start. What do we have? The order here. I lost it. Bam! Defensive line grade.
Hell yeah!
So figure we start with the defense. We'll finish on the offense because why do you want to finish on a lower note when you can finish on a higher note? Defense this year, definitely the whole team rechanged, but from the defensive line perspective, Deron Payne, John Allen, Jazon Newton, Jalen Holmes, Sheldon Day, Fedarian Mathis. We're going to talk edge rushers alone. So we're not counting, Armstrong, Cleveland, Jean Baptiste. We're going to talk about just the guys I talked about. Deron Payne, John Allen, Jazon Newton, Jalen Holmes, Sheldon Day, Fedarian Mathis, who's no longer with us.
For Day.
Day. I'm talking like he's passed away. He's no longer on the team.
The
But
songs
Phil,
dedicated.
let's start with you, man. Defensive line. What are your thoughts on the defensive line this year? What would you give
Interior
them as a
defensive
group?
line. Do we give you a grade?
Yeah, talk about it. Give it a grade.
So, pros. Johnny Newton is a havoc raiser. He did show that. I mean, I know a lot of people want to keep John Allen and so forth. Not going to understand the arguments for it, but if we let him go, you've got someone who raises hell, who creates activity in the interior. However, overall as a unit, not very impressive. I mean, guys like Jalen Holmes, they pop up with a play here, like, oh, sure, okay. But they would disappear for long stretches of time too. So the interior line, I'd have to give. I mean, they were occasionally did a lot to help generate sacks from the edge rushers. A lot of our edge rushers got sacks because we, were able to collapse the pocket and push quarterbacks to the outside. C minus.
Okay. What I want to do though, while you guys are doing that, go ahead, Dave. You can talk. I want to see.
I agree.
And they were. Look, here's the thing. It's like I'm giving them like a C plus for pass rushing, and a D minus for run stopping.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do is log into PFF and see where we stand. But go ahead, Dev. Let's give what you got.
I got the same grade. I give it a C. I give it a C. I don't give it a C minus. I give it a C.
PFF has us at 29th out of 32 for interior defensive line. So clearly they saw the struggle as well.
Look, none of us are giving them good grades. I mean,
no. I mean, Johnny Newton will come into his own, and I feel that he's going to be a force to reckon with. And Deron Payne and John, one of those guys will be gone. They're not both going to be here next year. I don't think so.
I would rather.
Would you rather?
At this point, I can do without John Allen. He came back, maybe because he was not quite healthy. I don't know. I just felt like he didn't contribute anything.
Oh, for real. We lost Phil.
Phil has
talk is cheap, motherfucker.
There he is.
I think you're back, Phil. You are back.
I think I'm back.
All right, we got you now.
The joys of Wi-Fi.
Yeah, man, gotta love it. Jason Donaway is given a C plus. Tia is given a C minus. Marcus is given a C. Good at pass rushing, bad rushing defense, and that was the kicker. Our rushing defense, which you rely on the interior defensive line. What are we at? 30th out of 32. It fluctuated throughout the season. I can't remember, but I know for the most part, 30th in yards. I think. Don't quote me. You guys might remember better, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go C minus. Teetering between a C and C minus. Man, there's nothing good really to write home about on the defensive line front. So that's that. I don't even think there's a whole lot more to talk about either, besides the fact that we don't think both of those guys are going to be here. Johnny Newton's a menace. And I think that's about, we need to shore it up. We need some more depth. We need some more bodies. Yeah, that's about it. Anything else for the defensive line interior fellas before we move on? All right, let's go to the edge grade. So for the edge rushers, we're talking Dorrance Armstrong Jr. Had 5 sacks. Cleveland Farrell, 3.5 sacks. We're talking Carl Davis. I guess that you can count Jamin for 5 games. Andre Jones.
I totally forgot Jamin Davis existed.
F.A. Obata. I don't even remember where we traded him to. And F.A. Obata. That is technically what they're counting as defensive end. We're not counting linebackers yet. That's Fowler, Luvu McGee, Bellor, and Michael Walker, and Bobby Wagner. So just those edge rushers, Dorrance, Cleveland, Javante Jean-Baptiste, Carl Davis, Jamin Davis, Andre Jones, F.A. Obata. Phil, let's start with you again, man. What do you got on these? I'm sorry. I said edge. Sorry, edge. We'll go right to the edge then. That would be
those guys you listed.
The Dante Fowler. That would be No, yeah, you're right. That would be Dorrance, Cleveland, John, Carl, Jamin, Andre. I don't know why they technically have Dante Fowler as a linebacker. That man had 10.5 sacks. But what do y'all give the edge grade, man? Let's talk about edge rushers.
Are we going to include Dante Fowler in this? That changes the league.
He's listed as a linebacker, but I feel like all he did was rush the quarterback. You know what? We're going to count him as an edge rusher. Go for it.
All right. If that's the case, then I'm going to go C+.
Jack's going.
Dante was a pleasant surprise. Lawrence came and went when he was making plays. He made some plays. Same with Cleve Farrell. But again, their run defense wasn't particularly great, and yeah. I can't justify anything higher than that. I mean, the pass rush was good if you count Dante Fowler and Dorrance when Dorrance was healthy. Yeah, you had a pretty good pass rush, but outside of that, nothing worth writing home about as a spectacular performance.
Yeah, go get me a dog at edge. We're gonna talk about that here before this episode's over. But give me someone opposite of Fowler, man. We're good. What about you, Dev? T is going edge with the C grade.
Well, because Lubu made All Pro and he's an edge, I gotta give him over a C.
Lubu's not an edge.
He's an edge.
He's a linebacker, my friend.
All over the place, but he plays
defensive end on pass downs.
He rushed a lot he did a lot of interior rushing though.
I'm going with him as an edge.
No, I can't do that. He played too much linebacker. It's not like Fowler. Fowler is listed as a linebacker, but let's be real, never really played linebacker.
So what are we going to count? Like, are we counting linebackers? Him as one of the linebackers.
Goddamn, Ron Rivera and his position flex is screwing up our podcast.
Are you counting Louisville as just a straight linebacker then?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, then. If we're going that way, I'll give him a C because he couldn't stop the run.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny. PFF don't have any of our guys ranked. Our guys were, Dorrance was ranked 57th. So I don't even think they counted Fowler. Oh, they counted Fowler. Okay, he's 77. So they ranked, from a PFF perspective, they ranked Dorrance higher than Fowler because they're looking at more than
seven. Fowler's a liability against the run.
Yeah, his run grade
Dorrance is better against the run.
Very low. His run was very low. 52 actually. Dorrance was worse, but overall they gave Dorrance the edge. But
to his credit, I think Fowler may have been brought in just passing downs, but it just so happens that I guess the other guys got hurt and he had to play it.
I just think that the abject failure that was Jamin Davis this year to take on that role of being our Micah Parsons was a big part of that too.
Yeah. Richard Warford, I don't think you're a Washington fans. I still don't like your name for your team. It should be Redskins. Still, Commanders sound like there's a bunch of presidents. Yeah,
we didn't want the name to change in the first place, but once you open Pandora's box, you gotta live with that. You can't close it. And all the other names were just total ass.
Call them the Fighting Flamingos, man. If you're winning NFC championships, I don't care what your name is. You can be called whatever you want.
Flying Flamingos will be dope.
Flying Flamingos.
We got the Miami Heat colors
in the NFC championship. Who cares? The name is irrelevant. When you're in NFC championships, you're competing every year at the very end. Who cares what your name is? Marcus said we need bigger nose tackle, edge rusher, B+. Good quarterback pressure, bad setting the edges.
What we call the DC meat sticks.
The DC meat sticks. I don't know the relevance, but the DC sewer rats. Them junks are like dogs, man. They're like this big. Jack Attack C+. That's right. Tia says edge need to be more aggressive. Jason said B- for what we paid Fowler and the rest of the scrubs. We sopped up. They did way better than expected. That's the truth, man. They outperformed their contract by a ton.
Washington tariffs.
The funny part is just on the sacks alone, Fowler had 10.5 and Dorrance had 5. I mean, Cleveland had 3.5, Duran had 4, but Dante Fowler.
I feel bad because I feel like Cleve Farrell could have actually contributed more if he'd been healthy, but he missed a good amount of time.
Yeah. Jason said Louvu never played a hand in the dirt. Definitely an LB. So we're not going to count him as an edge. Slick with the kicks. What's up, man? Says watching grubbing on Church's chicken. Hey, Church's is dope, man. We don't have any around here. I don't know where you hail them from.
Hey, they got one at LaFont Plaza.
Do they? Oh man,
yes.
The last one I saw was in Alexandria. I didn't
we got Church's chicken. We used to have one here. We got everything else now. We used to have Church's chicken here, man. I've called him a few times to prank him. That's one time service started.
I grew up on Church's chicken, man. Right on Route 1 in Alexandria, man.
You got to call me what time church start, man. It'll mess him up. It's hilarious.
All right, edge grade. I'm also gonna go. I think I'm gonna go C+ because they were, Fowler was the standout. Dorrance was a nice surprise. So I'll go C+ on that one. All right, let's talk linebackers now. So linebackers, we'll get a little more down and dirty. We'll say Frankie Louvu. We'll say Michael Walker, Dante. Well, we're not gonna say Dante Fowler. Bobby Wagner, Michael Walker, Frankie Louvu, Jordan McGee, Nick Bellore. I think he was a specials guy. And that's it. The linebacker core was not super deep this year, but for what they did present, man, they did fantastic. So Phil, let's start with you, man. Linebacker grades. What are we grading the LBs this year?
This is gonna pain me because I want to do it better.
Cody,
B+.
What's up, bro? B+ for the linebackers.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to go
fair.
higher.
Yeah.
But the run struggles do include the linebacking core. It's not just the defensive line, right? So I do think that they get knocked down from an A to a B+ because of that.
Okay.
But you had two guys in the Pro Bowl from that position. That's not light work. I mean, that definitely says something.
Yeah.
But I can't in good conscience give them an A when we were one of the worst teams against the run.
I mean, Bobby Wagner, this is PFF. Like I said, this is one data point. He was third, man. He had an 88 against the total defense, 91 score against the run, 90 against the pass defense, and 63.8 in coverage. So
yeah, I mean, he kind of gets an A. I mean, his coverage looks like it's
it is.
Where's
Louvu was 43. He was, very solid across the board. In coverage, Louvu was really good. He gave a 73, but a run, pass run average.
No. He's 58.5 in coverage.
Hold on. What's the
overall?
Oh, defense, run, pass coverage. Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Defense, run, pass coverage. So Louvu, defense 64, run 61, pass 73, coverage 58.5.
Yeah, he could run. He could rush. He was good at rushing the quarterback. That run defense isn't a great score.
Yeah,
but you know what? I love Louvu, so you know what? I ain't mad. You give him a more effective line against the run, he could probably do better.
Yeah, that's true. What's up, Cody? Thanks for popping in, man. I think this is Tia says linebacker grade B. That's fair. Jason says 2 Pro Bowlers is a big statement. I'm saying B+. Dev, what say you? I feel like
two All Pros is a big statement. I'm going to A.
2 All Pros. It was Terry it was Terry and Terry and Bobby. Terry and Bobby.
1 All Pro and a Pro Bowler.
Yeah. I mean, the other guys I talked about being a linebacker, they didn't really contribute a whole lot, but Louvu and Wagner held it down, man. That's where it was at. They were the force to be reckoned with. Just a friendly reminder, guys, if you're watching this from YouTube, please hit that like button for it. We would greatly appreciate it if you did that. It would help with the algorithm and keep the show popping on all the platforms. Jack Attack saying B+, man. I'm gonna go. I'm torn between a B, solid high B to B+. But you guys make a good point. I'm
giving them an A.
Pro Bowl. I'm gonna go B+, just because you had two out of 5 did well. But like I said, on the books, Dante Fowler is listed as a linebacker, even though he's an edge rusher. So it's all good. So we got the linebackers at a B+ on average. Marcus is saying B+ as well. Any final words on the linebackers, guys, before we move on?
Nope.
All right. Corners. We're talking corners now. So for the corners, not the brightest spot, although we had a very, very bright spot. But in general, we had Quan Martin, Mikey Samerstill, Benjamin St. Juice, Noah Igbo, Michael Davis, Marshawn Lattimore came late. We had Emmanuel Forbes, Bobby Price, and Kevin Seymour. Phil, cornerbacks. That is
this
a
is the most
wide
bipolar
range
group for me to
oh
me
my
to
gosh, it's so hard. It's so hard.
because here's the thing: the guys you had guys like Samerstill. I'm going to give Lattimore Shum Sabale because he played injured, but I mean, he had a great game against the Saints, and he had some other good performances. Weren't great, but again, he was nursing that hamstring, and he came late. Weren't great, but at the same time, you also had guys like Samerstill, who was great. Igby was Igbenabi was you also had guys like Samerstill, who was he was why am I hearing myself? Igbenabi was
oh, sorry, I pulled up I was just checking the audio feed. You're good.
Oh,
sorry.
I was like,
my bad.
I thought I was just
no. I was just checking.
Too.
I was just checking the sound quality.
Anyway,
broadcast.
what I was going to say is that Igbenabi was a surprise. He started the season kind of rough, and then really kind of found his footing, especially once he got into that third corner role. He really kind of locked that down. Are we considering Quan a corner?
I mean, he's listed. It just says DB. So you got. I would count him more.
I put him as a safety.
Yeah. So
we'll take him out of the equation. But then you had guys like Forbes and St. Juice and Michael Davis, who were awful. So you had a lot of guys who fall in that AB category. A lot of guys fall in the DF category. So C-.
Yeah.
That's where I put him. So
C-.
C- overall. And that's because the bad are such an anchor on the good.
Jason said, one Phil is enough, Steve.
I am Phil, and I agree. I endorse that message.
Marcus is going D-. Dev, what was your overall grade, Phil? You said
C-.
C-. Okay. Phil went C-. Dev, what about you?
Man, I'm kind of just judging the finished product. So I'm not going to put Forbes in the equation. I'm going to put Juice in the equation as a minimal factor. But going forward, I like him. I'm gonna give that unit a B. I think we're third against the pass.
B.
Yo,
I thought we're third against the pass, right?
Yeah,
yeah. That's what their job is to do.
Well, are you talking our ranking? Yeah, we were third in total yardage allowed.
Right. I'm going with them. I mean, as a unit, we're not going as a team. We know what we got, but as a unit, those guys are. Lattimore is a stud. I know he had some rough times, but he's still a stud. I think that Samerstill has stud written all over him, and we do need a third. But if Juice is the third best corner we got, I think we're okay. Iggy, what's the name? Igby name, whatever.
Igbenagmi.
Yeah, Iyanashi, whatever. He is. He is definitely
Kobayashi.
Yeah. He's a third corner. He's a slot corner, but I think that's a position we could upgrade or even move Samerstill back to the slot if we get an upgrade there. So I'm very happy with our corners right now, man. I don't have any complaints. I mean, shit, what if we slide in there and get a Jair Alexander?
Yeah.
Probably play 2 games all year, but
corner is a position where one guy can make a huge difference in the performance of the entire group.
Now we got Lattimore all season with the off-season regimen. Hopefully he stays healthy.
And Mikey's on the come up, man. Like,
relatively speaking, our team was relatively healthy. I think there's some moments with Eckler out, but other than that, we were relatively a healthy squad. Allen was out a little bit, but nothing we couldn't overcome.
I think coming into next year, this group is going to be much better. Marshawn Lattimore, like you said, is going to have a whole offseason. So you're saying B+, Dev?
Yeah, I'll give him a B+.
So Phil said C-. Phil, you said C- or C?
Yeah,
C.
I said C-. But you'll see where I am going to give props in here in a minute.
Okay, Phil said C-. Dev said B+. I'm going to say a solid B. I'm going to take the mean. Mikey Samerson was our highest guy in PFF. He was 52nd. But like you said, they were really good against the pass. But I think it's more context to being good against the pass than just saying our DBs. There's the Luvus and the Fowlers contributed to that number being so low, being gets the pass. I wouldn't say they're like coverage sacks, but as a unit, Samerstill was great early on. I think just those backbreaking thing, the timing of BSJ's lapses, it just was every time he messed up, it was just the worst timing. It was a Mike Evans touchdown in the end zone. It was, giving up that long 4th down or PI on 3rd and long. It just, holistically speaking, St. Juste, he could be a perfectly fine cornerback 3. You know what I mean? Like, I think he'd be fine. We asked him to be a cornerback 1 to start the season, if you think about it, because Samerstill, he's a rookie. We asked Benjamin St. Juste to be the cornerback 1, CB1. And reality is he ended up at CB3. So I think he'd be fine at CB3. And I'm going to say a B overall, because you guys both bring up good points. I think it's a B. Tia says cornerback grade C-. Okay. Jason Donovan says cornerback C without BSJ would be a B. Yeah, like I said, he made some boneheaded plays early on in the season. It just, Slick with the kick says corners are like Virgin College cheerleaders, hard to find. Unless you get Mikey. You got a Mikey, you're good. Tia says once they get rid of BSJ, the grade can go up. That's fair. I can't argue with anything you guys are saying. But Samerstill was ranked 52nd. Marshawn Lattimore, given all his injuries and stuff, from a PFF perspective, he was ranked 89th. And then I'm pretty sure no one is going to be found anywhere. Igbo was 116th. BSJ was 113th. So
how is that? I just don't...
Igbo surprised me. I thought he would have cracked the top 75, but they have him.
He did get toasted a lot early on. I think that kind of weighs down his grade.
Yeah, they have Igbo at below St. Juste. There you go. And so it's the same thing: defense, run, pass, coverage. So overall, 44. Pass, he was at 82. So he was really. I'm sorry, he was at 35. Never mind. They gave him a 35. I was looking at the wrong column. They gave him a 35. In the run, but we didn't bring. He's not there to run. 48 in pass. Or coverage. Their pass rush, and then 49 in coverage. BSJ 46 in coverage. Okay, there you go. So that's the corners. Phil went C-. Dev went B+. I went B. I think we're kind of all marching in the same direction. All right, guys, let's talk safeties. So for safeties, we did say we were going to throw Quan Martin in this category. So we'll stay Quan Martin, Jeremy Chin, Percy Butler, Derek Forrest, Tyler Owens, Jeremy Reeves, and I'm missing anyone else besides Quan Martin. I think that's it. All right, Phil. Safeties. What you giving the safeties?
I'm giving the safeties a solid B+, and it's all because of Chin and Martin.
Yeah.
Chin and Martin both like to lay the lumber, especially Jeremy Chin, but Quan ain't afraid of contact either. And I think that did a lot for us just because receivers did not want to come over the middle on us. They'd hear footsteps whenever one of those guys is behind them. And I think that helped a lot. I give them a B+. Now, Percy Butler struggled. Percy Butler, I like, but there's weird communication things that always seem to happen when he's on the field. And really, Revo he's a special teamer. He was all pro special teamer. He wasn't all pro safety, but Revo does what Revo does. But I would say that the combination of Chin and Quan Martin lifts that group to a B+. They did a lot to mask the deficiencies of the corners.
That's fair. B+. Dev, what you got for the safeties?
I agree. B+. Same reason I like the corners. They're pretty good guys there. Quan and Chin as it ended this season.
Chin ended up as 42nd.
And Butler, by the way.
Yeah. And Quan Martin, 60th. From a PFF perspective. So not too bad, given that I don't know how many total amount of safeties they got. But and Percy started 5 games himself, so I don't even know where he would be on this total list. But Marcus is saying B+ for the safety, so I think he's on the same boat as Phil and Dev. Tia saying B+ as well. Jason says B. Forrest is in there. Man, Forrest just perplexes me because we've all saw Derek Forrest. Was it not last year, but the year before last? Ron's second to last year. That man was laying waste to people, dude. Laying waste. And then he got hurt and he never came back. And then he never really had a shot this year. I'm actually shocked they still had him on the team. But I still think Derek Forrest can do wonders. He can be really good. But I'm gonna go. Man, this one's tough for me between a B and a B+. I'm gonna settle on a B. I'll be the difference guy. You guys are a B+. I'll say B. But Chin's also one of those guys you got to bring back. I didn't see what you guys talked about Chin last week, but did you guys talk about the need to bring Chin back or upgrade to someone else? Chin's a keeper. Got to re-sign him because he was on a 1-year deal. Marcus says, I'm intrigued with Tyler Owens. He got hurt, but I can't wait to see him next year. Yeah, he had a pretty good preseason too. Jack Attack's going B+. B+ for old Jack Attack. So that's kind of rounding out the defense. Let's talk a little bit special teams. So we've got, the one and only Tress Way. You got Austin Eckler returning kicks. You had Luke McCaffrey returning kicks. You had Jamison Crowder returning punts. I think you had Jerry McNichols back there for a few. You had Zane Gonzalez as a kicker. You had who was the guy that got hurt, started out the season having a brain fart? Kicker before Zay.
Austin Seibert.
Austin Seibert. Yes, we had Seibert to start, and then we had a guy we had Cade York we cut. Then we settled on then we had Greg Joseph for a game. Then it was just kicker purgatory, man. It was bad. Seibert, Gonzalez, Greg Joseph, Cade York. But Gonzalez,
Riley Patterson.
That was the guy I could not remember to save my life. Riley Patterson. So, I wish there was a way to figure out how many, where do we rank in kickoff allowances? I just can't seem to find that stat. It's probably out there somewhere, but I can't seem to find it, at least right now. But Phil, special teams, man, units all around. You can break down the units. You can just slap 1 grade on them all together. But where are you feeling for like special teams altogether?
Return game was on point. Return defense was pretty decent. Punting game was on point. Kicking game under Austin Seibert until he got hurt was on point.
Oh, 27 of 30, bro. He's doing great.
So I would say I'm gonna go A-.
A-. Okay.
Yeah, I'd give him an A if we didn't have the screw ups between Riley Patterson and Greg Joseph, but we didn't have any choice.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But A-.
A- for special teams.
I really want Austin Seibert back next year, or have him and Zane Gonzalez compete, because Gonzalez picked up as the season went on. He struggled early.
Yeah.
But I'll go A-.
Okay. Deb, what about you?
I'll go same thing. I give it an A because again, all pro special teamer out there in Eckler.
Yeah.
So that automatically gets me a high grade. I think healthy and when we ended the season. Even Gonzalez, I don't think Gonzalez missed too many. He
was 5 of 7.
Yeah, he didn't do anything to kill us. Yeah, I'm going with the A.
A. Just for clarification, like Phil said, Seibert was 27 of 30 for field goals, and he was 22 of 24. But if you remember the back-breaking extra point he missed during Dallas, that man was injured. He went right on I think he went back on the IR right after that game.
Yep.
And then we saw Zane, and we never saw Seibert again for the rest of the season. Gonzalez was 19 for 19. Greg Joseph was 2 for 3, and Cade York was 0 for 2. I don't have Riley Patterson's stats in front of me. Tress Way is Tress Way. You know how he does it. Tress Way, 50 punts. He was pretty unoccupied for most of the season. I guarantee if you compare his punts from this year to the numbers of previous years, it's probably astronomically different. But he was averaging 42.9 net yards a punt, averaging 46.9 in actual punts. And like Dev said, for kickoff returns, you had Austin Eckler, who was an all-pro, but we had Igbo back there returning kicks and punts. You had McCaffrey, McNichols, Zacchaeus, Eckler, and Crowder, all returning kicks. So I'm with you guys. I'm going to say I'm a little more bullish, B plus A. I'm teetering, but I'll land on a B plus for the special teams. And I think Jack, man, I got the Incredibles on my mind. Marcus says B plus. Jason Donaway says B. Tia says A because of Tress Way. Marcus says A minus. Jack says A. Jason says if it wasn't for the Dallas game, I would have given it a B plus. Man. Special teams is kind of nice, man. Although I think I don't know if Eckler's kick return days are over. It might be. I'm not sure.
I mean, he didn't get the concussion on kick return, did he?
But he stopped. He stopped returning. He did against the Dallas game. He got it on the Dallas kickoff at the end of the game. That's when he got that concussion. Remember?
It was on a kick return.
But he didn't return any kicks after that concussion. Doesn't mean he won't do it next year.
No, but I mean, we had guys step up, and McCaffrey and Crowder did well. So
yeah, for sure. All right, let's go quarterback grade. I don't think this one needs that much analysis for grades. But Phil, the floor is yours for the kickoff, man, or for the quarterbacks. A. Dev.
I won't give him a plus. Because you got room to improve, but
of course,
not much room.
A plus. I'm grading on what happened this year. A plus, the greatest rookie season in the history of quarterbacks. I'm going A plus. If I can give it 2 pluses, I do that.
A plus. I'll give it an A plus too, man. This is just an unspeakable, unthinkable season. I get what you're saying, Phil. I'm just happy we got our guy. A plus across the board.
Give him an A plus.
Give it an A plus. Give it an A plus. We heard that.
Unbelievable!
So many times with Jayden Daniels this year. And then when Marcus Mariota had to come in against the Panthers, I mean, he even did that one, what was that? Touchdown read option fake against, who was it?
It was against Dallas. He did that.
Was it Dallas? Yeah, Dallas, because Jayden only played a quarter, then they pulled him out.
It was half. And, after half they pulled him.
Fantastic. They're talking about Mariota might reunite with Chip Kelly and the Raiders, because Chip Kelly is now the offensive coordinator for the Raiders, and they're talking about Mariota might actually get, because Mariota's on a 1-year deal too. So I hope they re-sign him, honestly.
But if not, we
got Drizzy.
Like Jeff Driscoll.
We do like Jeff Driscoll, and that man got some wheels.
Because he plays like all these quarterbacks we have all play a very similar style. Right. That's why I'm not mad. Like if we lose Mariota, it's going to suck. But at the same time, if you put Driscoll or Mariota or Driscoll or Sam Hartman in there, I feel like they can at least run the offense efficiently enough that there isn't a huge drop off. I mean,
you don't have to change your playbook.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's not going to be like Mariota where literally nothing changes. Right. But it's going to be like you're still going to have something efficient going.
Yeah, for sure.
Those guys may not be as accurate with the passing, but they can run, they can execute the offense the way we do it. Our offense is a very high percentage passing offense anyway, so I'm not mad. I'm not mad at any of the guys. So yeah, given the fact that there was more than Jayden and everything, let's go A plus. I'll change mine to an A plus.
That's fair. Fair enough. No questions. Quarterbacks all around A plus. Jack says A plus or A because Jayden had a rocky start to his year. Yeah, he had a rocky maybe game and a half. Then they unleashed the Kraken and it was over. Marcus got A plus. Jason has A plus. Okay, quarterbacks are pretty unanimous. Let's go running backs. So running backs, just to refresh everyone's memory, we had Brian Robinson Jr. We had Austin Eckler, Jerry McNichols, Chris Rodriguez part time. And I think that's it for running backs. I don't think I'm missing anyone. Am I missing anyone?
No, those would be the 4.
Those are the big 4. Yeah, so Robinson, Eckler, McNichols, and Chris Rodriguez. Phil, running back grades.
B.
Started out great, didn't it?
Started out great. Kind of fell off. I really feel like Austin Eckler missing time just totally screwed up everything.
Yeah.
Before Eckler got hurt, this run game was on an A+ trajectory. Once he went out, and when he came back, I just don't feel like it was the same. Although you did see against the Lions, Brian Robinson seemed to run well with having Eckler in there. So
yeah, almost like a resurgence.
I feel like that if the 1-2 punch is healthy and effective, this run game can be great, but it wasn't all season, so we go B.
Yeah, fair. B. What's up, Donato? Said JD did a thing. Make sure you guys go check out my boy Donato, D Talking with Donato on YouTube. Great guy. Doing some great interviews, man. Go check him out. Marcus got the running backs at a B. Tia's got him at a C+. Deb, what about you, man, for the running backs? Eckler, McNichols, Robinson, and Chris C-Rod part-time.
C.
The numbers wise, Brian Robinson finished with 799, Eckler 367, McNichols 261, Chris Rodriguez 173. And, with B-Rob missing a couple games, Jayden was our leading rusher at 891. So.
And that's why.
Yeah, and that's why. But also, after the injury to the offensive line, remember at the beginning of the season, we were talking about the resurgence of not the hogs, but the way that Joe Gibbs hogs the counter tray, the traps, the pulling of the guards. It just slowly faded away. And as it faded away, all the pullings, so did Brian Robinson's ability to get downfield. So I don't know. Maybe they can fix that next year. We'll see what happens with Cosme. But
that's also why I point out that, like, when everybody was like dogging B-Rob, I'm like, it ain't really B-Rob. That's the problem here. I didn't like a lot of play calling, and all that. B-Rob does a lot better on those pulls and traps because it's just give him the ball and go. And that's what he does well. He is a one cut and up the field runner. So as long as we're doing that, we're fine. So
yeah, I'm gonna go C. I'll say C. I'll say C. And I think what's the saving grace was when C-Rod did get time, he showed that, he had a little bit, gas in the tank. He only had 35 rushes for 173, McNichols 55 for 261. Those guys produce when they got opportunities, but they didn't get a lot of opportunities. And I'm really upset that we didn't see more Chris Rodriguez. I really, really wanted to see more Chris Rodriguez. But the saving grace was what they did in the passing game, and that really includes Austin Eckler. He had 367 rushing and 366 in the passing game, so he did a little bit of everything. So I know we're talking running backs, but the contribution in the pass game was pretty good too. So I'll say C. Jack Attack says B for the running backs, and Tia had a C+ as well. So, all right, let's move on to the offensive line. So, I'm not really I don't have the list of total offensive linemen, but you guys know we kind of talked about our offensive line a little bit already. But Phil, I'll start with you, and I'll pull up the roster. I'll read off all the names.
B-. I want to give them a higher grade, but I do feel like that they got very uneven, especially towards the end of the year because of injuries and such. Biotish, the starters held up well. Biotish, Allegretti, Cosme, Coleman. Yeah. Hell, they even made Wiley look decent to begin the season.
They did. Isn't that crazy? We used to drag him all last year. We dragged the hell out of that dude.
Well, he got back to drag-worthy status by the end of the year.
Yeah.
But,
it was a small window. He was good, though.
Yeah, there was a small window there. He was pretty decent. And a lot of that was because the overall team play on the line. So
yeah,
I'm going to go B- only because none of the backups did anything for me except for, Cornelius Lucas was all right. Other than that, though, none of the backups did anything for me. And I know they're backups, so I should have limited expectations, but I still expected better than what we got.
Yeah, fair. And so the guys who were talking about, Michael Dieter, Tyler Bjadic, Badass, Nick Allegretti, Tyler Ott, I guess, the long snapper, we counted him on teams. Andrew Wiley, Trent Scott, Brandon Coleman, Chris Paul, Sam Cosme, Cornelius Lucas. Deb, what about you? Offensive line grades.
I give him a C.
C.
Yeah, I think that Coleman was a good find. Cosme was solid. You know, we got hurt. I think we may have found 4 of our 5 linemen. I still think we can make an upgrade. But so I'm gonna go.
Yeah, right tackle. We still can make a big upgrade.
Yeah.
Okay. PFF has our line graded the 10th best in the NFL, and they're really talking about Coleman, Allegretti, Bjadic, Cosme, and Wiley. And selecting Brandon Coleman out of TCU in the 3rd round last year paid dividends. So you're right. I think we found our left tackle. We were a little skeptical about it at first, but the man's a beast, and he's good. Now, hopefully Sam Cosme bounces back from, what was it, ACL, right?
Yep.
Which is going to suck, man. So it's definitely, but I'm with you guys. I'm going to say B. I'll give him a B. Maybe B. I'm torn because I feel like Jayden was able to mask a lot of their deficiencies with his feet, but they gave him some pretty damn good pockets too. And when it was good, it was really good. So I'll give him a solid B for the offensive line. Tia said B-, little tweaking, they'll be straight. Jack attack C+. Whoa, man, Jack's tough tonight, Jack. C+ on the O-line. Okay. They allowed 155 pressures, including 18 sacks on 654 snaps, which isn't that bad in the grand scheme of things. And pass blocking efficiency, they finished 8th overall, which is crazy. But our highest ranking lineman was Cornelius Lucas, but he didn't have, the total amount of snaps. Bjadic was the highest graded player when you look at overall snap counts together. But Sam Cosme was the best against the pass. And then against the run, it was definitely Tyler Bjadic. So there we go. All right. Tight ends, man. So we got Bates, Sinnott, and the one Zachary Ertz. Phil, what you got for tight ends?
A.
I like it.
I can't give him anything less. Blocked well. Zach Ertz turns back clock about 5 years on his career.
I like it.
Bates is an absolute monster of a blocker to the point that they can have him as a de facto tackle on certain formations.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of Logan Paulson a little bit. He was really good at that thing too. But
I think he's way better than Logan Paulson personally.
But Bates can catch, though. That's the thing. That's what he brings to the table. He's sure hands.
He can. And Sinnott is this unknown X factor that we hope can develop into something. But that's going to take some time to figure out.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Dev. What about you? Tight ends.
You're muted, Dev.
Yeah, I'm gonna go B on tight ends. Mostly because of Eckler.
Eckler.
I mean, Eckler. I'm sorry, Ertz. Okay. And, that was a pleasant surprise. I expected very average performance.
Yeah.
Unless Sinnott got off. But I'm good with it. So I'm gonna go with a B, solid B.
Yeah. I think I'm with you too, Dev. I was going to say B+ where Phil was. I'm going to say solid B. I'm right below B+, but their blocking was great. Zach Ertz was totally nice surprise. I was expecting 35 catches, 400 yards, a couple touchdowns. But, man, if that dude wasn't Jayden's safety blanket on all the crucial downs, 3rd and short, 4th and long, it was Zach Ertz, man. It was Zach Ertz. And I kind of hope they resign him one more year. And then we see a little bit of Senate coming out next year. But I'm with you guys. High B. Jack has an A- for the tight ends. That's pretty good. Tia has B+. Yeah, tight ends were a really nice surprise, man. I'm not gonna lie. And overall, just from a statistical perspective, Zach Ertz was 66 catches, 654 yards, and 7 touchdowns. John Bates 8 for 84, and Sinnott was 5 for 28. But Sinnott had a touchdown. Bates did not. He also had that in the playoff game, the long fake punt from Tressway as well. So, all right, let's talk wide receivers now. From the wide receiver core, we're talking Terry, we're talking Zacchaeus, Noah Brown, first down dynamic, put it on the ground, almost threw a touchdown, divisional round, conference round, NFC championship round, fumbled.
Free agency bound.
Free agency bound. De'Ami Brown, Luke McCaffrey, Jamison Crowder, and Bryson Tremaine. So Phil, let's start with you, man. Wide receiver grades.
B. Terry was an A+. Zacchaeus was a pleasant surprise. Noah Brown, the Browns, just for every good thing they would do. And it's weird because there was some good there. De'Ami had key plays.
What'd you say?
De'Ami had some key plays. Noah Brown was big early in the season. Remember that first Giants game, where he made 2 catches to help us get down the field for a game-winning field goal, and all that. So they would pop up here and there, but they lacked consistency. Zacchaeus wasn't consistent the whole year, but he came on when we really needed somebody to step up and at least attempt to be a wide receiver too. So I'm going to have to go with a B.
B.
Terry A+, a whole bunch of B- and C+ and C's in that group. So that kind of brings the grade down to a B for me.
Okay. Now, just for clarification, Terry finished with 82 catches for 1096 and 13 touchdowns. OZ 45, 506 and 3. Noah 35, 453 and 1. De'Ami 30, 308 and 1. Luke McCaffrey 18, 168. Jamison Crowder 9 for 72 and 2 touchdowns. And Tremaine, it was 1 for -2 yards. All right, Dev, go ahead. What's your grades for the wide receivers?
A.
A.
Hey, all pros, talk to me, bro.
I mean, 1 all-pro.
1.
I mean, anybody who else got all pros? How many people
Eckler,
got 4?
Eckler.
4 people. I'm talking about in the league, and how many receivers got that 4?
Oh, I
right. I'm going. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going with it. I mean, everybody else overachieved. To be honest, I didn't expect this out of De'Ami. To be honest with you, I didn't expect out of the other Brown. I didn't expect this out of Zacchaeus. No one played less than I thought they would, except for McCaffrey. I guess if you won't count that shit. But I'm good with receiver. Wasn't I don't think a deficiency. We had the 3rd best offense in the league. I don't have a. It could have been better, of course. But when you got a guy who's never been all pro, you got a guy who's never been a reliable 2 or 3 receiver. Zacchaeus become a 2 or 3 receiver sometimes. You got a guy who's never came into his own, coming to his own in De'Ami. I think it worked out. I think the receivers were better than good this year.
Yeah. I feel you, and I know where you're going. And you said B or B+?
I gave it A.
A. Okay. Once again, it's kind of not fair because I really feel like Jayden elevated their game, and Jayden did so much to make these guys successful, and that's a quarterback's job. You bring the guys up around you. But I still think to be successful, this is the one position group that you must upgrade. It's Terry and then a bunch of wide receiver 2s and wide receiver 3s.
You're right. I want to change my grade to B. You're right. Yeah, for that reason alone, you're right.
You got to upgrade them. They had it, like Phil said, there's a lot of moments where Noah Brown, the ball bounced off his face mask, and Zakia, and then fall down Noah Brown. I'm gonna give him a C plus. They did overachieve, but it is the one position group where you have to upgrade. Whether it's T Higgins, Darius Slayton, it was draft a guy. Like, you got to get someone opposite of Terry who can take the pressure off Terry, because Terry had 82 for 1096, and that's with all the focus being on Terry. Imagine if we had someone deadly across from like T Higgins. Man, the sky's the limit. So I'm gonna give him a C plus, man. That's what I'm gonna give him. Tia says, "What A minus?" Ryan Elias late drop in. What's up, Ryan? Appreciate you. He said quarterback A plus, line C plus, wide receiver B. Terry was an A plus plus, tight ends B plus between Ertz and blocking others. Running back was C all around. Okay, appreciate you. Jack attack, wide receiver A. Tia said we put up points. We did, man. Wide receiver was a bright spot for sure. That's it for the position grades, guys. We just ran through all the positions. We didn't leave anyone out. Cheers to us.
We didn't do coaches.
We didn't do coaches. We'll save that one for next one, because we got to spread this stuff out here. The team name is staying. That's really the latest and greatest what we're talking about right now. I don't know if you guys saw the press conference with Josh Harris the other day, or today, actually, it was said that he's not really focused on the name. And I'm going to play a little clip here to show you guys that I think the name is not going anywhere and the name is going to stay. And so, yeah, here's Josh Harris today talking about the name.
Yes, so just to hit the name first,
let me turn up the volume here.
So just to hit the name first, we're focused on, we're back to saying.
Hold on, do you guys have sound?
So just to hit the name.
Did you guys
first,
have sound?
we're focused on. We're back to saying, what we said all last year, which is focused on winning football games, on getting prepared for next year, on fixing up Ashburn and the stadium. We can talk about that, and then on engaging with the community of Washington. And so right now. And now in this building, the name Commanders means something. It means that, it's about players who, are love football, are great at football, hit hard. That name is growing in meaning.
Yep.
And so, but as far as rebranding and bringing our past, which obviously I grew up with, and all the Super Bowl championships and our future together, you're going to see us head back towards, honoring our past and bringing it together with our future.
Josh, Steve Weiner from the Associated Press. Question earlier. Is it safe to say the Commander's name is around today? Is that safe to say from your standpoint?
Yes. And we're actually, I think it's now being embraced by our team, by our culture, by our coaching staff. And so, we're going with that. Yes.
There you go. You heard the man say it. And Phil's alluded to this before. They're bringing the past with us, but they're not completely going backwards.
I've been telling you guys that this was the plan all along. I've been telling you guys it's the plan all along, and no one wanted to listen to me.
Let's hear the last 20 seconds one more time.
Steve Weiner from the Associated Press. Following up on John's question earlier.
One more time.
Safe to say the Commander's name is around just to stay? Is that safe to say from your standpoint?
Yes. And we're actually, I think it's now being embraced by our team, by our culture, by our coaching staff.
Embraced.
And so, we're going with that.
There you go. And that's what we wanted to talk about.
So those who want to change the name again, change the name back, it's not happening. So here's the thing.
Here you go, Ryan. The arrow.
Here's the thing. Whether you love it or you hate it, after this season, it's the best thing going. We are the franchise on the rise. So put aside your disdain. Put aside. Everyone says that Commanders was the last stamp of Dan Snyder stinking up this franchise. I say nay. I'd say it was the fact that Dan Snyder ruined the name Redskins for 2 generations of fans.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that he gave us the name Commanders. I don't think he had anything to do with the name Commanders.
I think you let Ron choose that.
Ron Rivera chose Commander.
And then he left.
But at the same time, all the other names were really ass. I'm sorry. I will stick to that to the day I die. That name sucked almost as bad as Red Hawks.
Red Wolves, Red Wolves, Red Wolves, Red Wolves.
You might as well call them Admirals with that with a name as shitty as Red Wolves.
That was really bad too. Admirals was terrible.
There was a bunch of terrible names. Yes, this was the best of a bad lot. But the name is associated with a team that just got off of an NFC Championship appearance, and from what we can tell, probably going to be a lot more of that coming up in the future. So put aside your reservations and jump on board and join the winning team, the Commanders.
Yeah, we said this in the offseason.
Be a part of a new history as we honor the past and then we create new.
Had we sucked this year?
Today.
Had we sucked this year, though?
I don't think it would have mattered. I think they would just done what they'd done before and just kick the can down the road.
Okay.
Well, it's not the most important thing. We'll deal with that later.
We did say, though, if this team wins anything real, it's not going anywhere. And I think Josh Harris just said it better than we ever could have. We're sticking with it. It means something now. It's embraced by the players, the staff, the community. So Ryan said, I'm hoping we bring the Arrow helmet back. And he was talking with the Arrow with the Commanders written on it. Yep. I got my old Portis Arrow anniversary jersey. Yeah, pretty good. Slick with the kick, strong name for real. Yeah, man.
It's a name that actually means like you command something. You are the commanders of the NFL.
Right.
You run shit. Come on.
Ryan said, we gained too much this year with the name, and now I feel the younger generation is invested with the Commanders. And that was the goal. We lost 2 generations. 2? I don't know if that's 3 generations. Maybe
25
3.
years would probably be 2 generations.
Definitely 2 generations of just suck since 1991. We had 1 year in 2012 with Robert Griffin. I wasn't even excited the 2015 or 16 year when we went with Kirk. It just wasn't. It was there, but we lost to the Packers.
We were happy, but it was not.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you didn't see like, oh my god. Well, 2016 for a hot minute, we thought we had something going. All building off of that division win. Yeah. But at the same time, it's Commanders is the name. But again, as I told y'all,
Ryan said, why can't Commanders be Native American?
The plan has been, and I'll say this because he's leaving. Jason Wright told me this to my face, that the plan was to eventually bring the old logo and the old unis back as a throwback, and that they were going to continue to honor the history. They can't continue forward with that name, but it doesn't mean we can't acknowledge what the name, with the image and everything was and what it once meant. And actually, by doing that, it allows us to focus on all the positives and not the 25, it's almost 25 years of Dan Snyder running the name into the ground. All right. So you get some of the stink of Dan Snyder off the name Redskins by doing it this way. All right. This is the only way you can do this. And do it right, and do it with a name that actually has some strength behind it. The fuck is a red wolf? It's an animal that you once lived in this area, but when it went extinct. So you want to.
I still like it better than Commanders, but that ship has sailed.
But it's an animal went extinct. It wasn't strong enough to survive. It could not command its environment.
I see what you did there. Ryan says, who says a commander can't be a Native American tribute? You can flip anything if you market it right. Marcus says, I don't care what the name is as long as we get Super Bowl trophies. Yeah, I said earlier, call us the Fighting Flamingos, man. Keep winning. I don't matter what the name is. They should do a retirement ceremony for the Redskins name. Now that would be kind of cool if they just kind of.
I really wish you know what? It would be kind of cool in a way.
Just put it to
bed.
But
I feel like that Roger Goodell would put the clamp on that so fast.
Yeah, he doesn't want it.
He never wanted that name. He wanted that name out ASAP. And that's why you ever notice that the name change talk really got hot. Once we started playing well in 2012, suddenly Goodell brings it up, and then Bob Costas is talking about it. And, of course, Bob Costas, as great as a sports journalist as he was, has one of the most punchable faces in humanity for things like that. At the same time, again, the name Redskins got so much of that Snyder stank on it that it's kind of, to me, it's a good thing, because now the more and more we put that in the rear view, the more and more the name Redskins, to me, only reminds me of the good times. Growing up with the good times. A lot of people don't have that luxury. I understand that. But that way you can just kind of put away those bad times, period. All right? Yeah, you had the Robert Griffin year. Yeah, you had Kirk Cousins winning division. Yeah, if you're old enough, you had Brad Johnson and company in 99. But those are just a few and far between. Yeah, you had Sean Taylor. Yeah, but you didn't have consistency. The only consistency was the mediocrity. So why not put that in a rear view along with the Dan Snyder era? We move forward with new ownership, new coaching, a new quarterback, a new name. Everything is brand new. It is morning in the DMV, people. It is morning in the DMV. Sunlight has risen upon us, and it's warm across our faces.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But, I'm sure this will come up again. It comes up, it rears its head every, I don't know, couple weeks these days. But this, I don't know. Someone will still find something to grasp onto, and we'll see. Ryan says, what's wild is the announcer still use the Redskins name. Yeah, Josh Harris says it when talking in the past. Why is that okay? If you're able to talk about the past, say the name, why not now if it's a derogatory name?
Because it's a compromise. It's a compromise because it's too hard, especially right now, because so many people, especially who are announcers and so forth, grew up with Redskins as the name. It's too hard. So it's like, look, just if you're talking about them in best, if you use Redskins, it's fine, because that's what they were called. And that's why I will continue to refer to them as when I refer to anything before 2020. I'd refer to them as the Redskins because that was their name.
Yeah.
Right. So it's using proper historical context. That's like, I'm going to use a really bad analogy here, but let me try.
Listen up, Dev.
Oh, no. I'll use a better one. All right. Because I was about to refer to a Third Reich here. You don't always refer to Germany as the Nazis, You don't always refer to the Red. You refer to the Redskins as the Redskins. You refer to Nazi Germany as Nazi Germany. You don't just call it Germany. They always call it Nazi Germany because it was the Nazis. All right, to differentiate it from other eras of Germany. Right. Yeah. I'm trying to come up with an example, but at the same time, it also is my way of shitting on Dan Snyder, calling him a Nazi. Yeah. But anyway, but nonetheless, it's historical context, right? When you refer to the country that was dominated by Russia, but included 14 other republics from 1917 until 1991, that is the Soviet Union. It is the USSR, all right? From 1991 until now, it's Russia and Ukraine, and they all go by their different names. But when you refer to them in the previous context, when they were all united as the Soviet Union, you refer to them as the Soviet Union because that was their name in historical context. Same thing here. All right. If I say Redskins and I'm talking about anything from before 2020, that's their name. Historical context. It's not their name now. Now I may refer to the Washington football team as the Commanders because Washington football team is the most odorless, tasteless, colorless, and meaningless shit ever foisted upon us. But
that's why I kind of defer to just saying Skins. Like I was a Skins fan. You talk to someone, hey, you Skins fan? Like Skins. I think Skins is okay to throw around.
Skins. I mean, if you do that as like a slang thing, whatever.
As we won more. In my conversation, like I had a guy at work who filed a complaint that I was wearing a Redskins, I was wearing it. It's just the logo. I didn't have the team. It was just, and then he filed complaints and like, bro, you could have just came and talked to me. I would have gladly not worn it at all. If you were offended by it, you know, that's your right. I'm not going to question you. I just wouldn't have worn it, but he filed a complaint on me, and then he left, moved on. But you know, because he was Native American, so he took offense to it, and so I'm like, you should have just told me.
Really, or was he just trying to start?
I don't know, and I wasn't gonna argue with him. I'm like, okay, if you got it done, you say less, man. You ain't gotta tell me twice. This is a workplace. I get it. Slick with it says,
nah, if you say your old name, definitely doesn't. I think if you do that now that it's been announced, now that it's set in stone,
yeah, I'll stay skins.
If you keep doing it, it's like. Pick your battles. I understand there's the culture wars going on and everyone wants to take part of it. And there's certain parts where I'm like, yeah, this shouldn't go this way. Certain parts I'm like, this isn't a big issue. The name Redskins is about item number 1,620,752 on a list of things that need to be debated within our society. I'm sorry. There are a lot more important things to deal with. I'm not going to sit here and go through them all. This is not
winning. We're winning, baby. We're winning. We were so close to going to the Super Bowl. Juan, what's up, Juan? It says, finally, no more name change debate. Folks need to learn how to adapt and change. I'm tired of folks being mad over a name. At the end of the day, it's still the same franchise. And color just a different name. Where are your old gear, man? I think it's okay. Wear your old gear. Like I said, I got all three. I got this. I got
look at me. Look
WFT. I got the W. I feel it has it in the background
behind my shoulder here, right? I got the Commander's bucket hat. I got a WFT tumbler, and I've got a little mini helmet that is a piggy bank with the Redskins logo on it. Yeah. All right, my bone pads are intact.
Rock it all.
Is what it is.
Yeah, rock it all.
Is what it is.
It is what it is. All right. Final topic of the day I want to talk about is Myles Garrett and Cooper Kupp. Like when I made the overlays for today, the Cooper Kupp thing hadn't happened yet, and it was too late to get into business. But long story short, Myles Garrett is requesting a trade. He's tired of losing. He's tired of being in Cleveland, and they know that that dumpster fire franchise is not going anywhere. So he has requested a trade. And what all the talking heads and the pundits on national television are saying is that you got to get the number one destination for him is the Commanders. That is the number one destination because we got cap room. His salary is only $19 million this year and $20 next year, $20 million the following year. He's going to want to restructure, but he's 29 years old, arguably the best edge rusher in the game right now. Do what it takes to get Myles Garrett, is my opinion. Put him opposite of Dante Fowler.
Yeah, and then you got guys like Dorrance Armstrong, Cleve Farrell on the bench.
Yeah, what I want to know from you guys and those in the chat, what would you trade for Myles Garrett? And very quickly, just for comparison, this is the 33rd team, if you guys follow them at all. What they're pitching as a trade for Myles Garrett would be a first-round pick this year and a first-round pick next year. I think that's a little steep, given your next two first-round picks away. I would throw Allen or Payne in there personally, and to soften the blow, maybe a first and then a player to make up for it, and then another pick. But that's just me. What would you guys pay to trade Myles Garrett is what I want to know. Dev, let's start with you, man. What would you give for Myles Garrett?
I'd give up a first and some extra stuff. I wouldn't give up 2 firsts like they're talking about on TV.
I wouldn't. That's a lot, man. That's what they're going to ask for, but I wouldn't do it.
I don't think they'll ask for that. I'll go with the first. I would go with a second this year and a first next year if they want to do it that way. I would do a first. I wouldn't do a first and a second this year. I'll go 1 year, 1 next year. Like 1 this year and 2 next year. Can't give up your whole draft, I guess. I mean, because I think there's going to be other options at defensive end, like Crosby. Your boy from the Chargers will be available. There's supposed to be a lot of guys to compete with that trade.
Yeah.
So money won't be the problem, though, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah. And it's funny because Myles Garrett, it was like a whole thing. He made I have the announcement right here. He made an official As a kid dreaming of the NFL, all I focused on was the ultimate goal of winning the Super Bowl, and the goal fuels me today more than ever. My love for the community of Northeast Ohio and the incredible fan base of the Browns made this one of the toughest decisions of my life. These past 8 years have shaped me into the man I am today. While I love calling the city my home, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. The goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton. It has always been to compete for a Super Bowl. With that in mind, I have requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns. So that's it right there. He officially made this a thing. So that eliminates a lot of teams. He wants to win. He's not going to go to some rebuilding team. He's not going to go to the Raiders. He's not going to go, to these other people who finish at the bottom of their division. I wouldn't see him going to he's from Texas. There's a chance he could go to Dallas, but those in the chat, let's see who else. Let's say Juan said, give me Miles, but going to cost a lot. Yep. Ryan says, give the first round for him. It's our 29th pick, but trade him Allen to put a pick on the back. And that's what I'm saying. And I would even throw in like a fourth on top of it. Myles Garrett is, I hate throwing around that word generational, but man, that guy's pretty damn close. Juan says, or Tia says, first round, third round, and Allen. That's comparable. What's up, Phil Bullock? You finally made it. Appreciate you, man. Always good to see you. Phil was traveling, man, wearing his skins gear on a plane. I saw him on Facebook. Juan said, I'll give them Payne in the pick. I'm a big Allen guy, so I'll give them Payne. Yes, Juan does like John Allen. So Phil said, no, hell no, I wouldn't do it. Phil, this is Myles Garrett, bro. Could you imagine the havoc he would wreak on defense for us? These players cost a premium. They don't fall out of the sky. Marcus says some fans disagree with it, but I would do a first and second round picks. Okay. Phil says, Phil, what's good? Are you okay? I think maybe because
I was off camera for a minute. Yeah. I was putting my phone on charger.
Yeah, but Jack is right. Green Bay is an option. That's a competitor. Remember, he said he wants to compete. He's not gonna go to a losing team. So that narrows half the league out of the question.
Personally,
Ryan makes a good point. Love to have Max Crosby over Miles.
Personally, I would try to see if you can get away with a package that you give away maybe your second round the next 2 years. I don't think you have to give up a first to get Myles Garrett.
You don't. It's going to be the starting point, but I'm sure you can work around it.
Yeah. I mean, they'll want one. But
or conditional. You could do the conditional thing, right? If he plays X amount of, games, it'll go from a third to a second, or, you could always slap that on there. But who knows? That people, but Ryan makes a good point.
There's a couple different ways you can slice. I don't think we'll have to give up first to get him.
Yeah. I mean, it's the 29th overall pick.
How many players are really getting first round picks or multiple first round picks? Players, not draft picks. People will give up more draft capital for draft pick position than they will give up for players.
You're very true. And a good example of that is all the wide receiver trades that happened over the years. You would think these guys would net first. They're getting like seconds and thirds, like a prime of their career. They're just not getting a whole lot of capital.
Now, granted, edge rusher is probably one of the biggest positions on defense.
Yeah.
In terms of value, but I don't think you have to give up first.
Dev, answering Ryan's question, would you rather have Max Crosby over Myles Garrett if you had to trade for one of those guys? Would you pick Max over Myles?
I would.
That's a tough one.
I think Garrett is a generational. I would rather go Garrett than Myles. But if the significance is what they asked for, like if the Raiders asked for significantly less than for Garrett, I would take Crosby in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And then lie to my face and say that I always want to start being fair.
Yeah, of course. You say that publicly. Oh, we wanted you the whole time, baby. We had never had a doubt. Right. Ryan says, here's an example. We almost gave up 3 firsts for Russell Wilson. Oh, man.
No, we didn't almost do that.
I mean, that was the going rate on the market.
No one did that.
I remember that.
Allegedly. Juan says should be an interesting couple of weeks since he wants out. Yeah, he made the announcement. It's going to be, or do they wait until the free agency window hits? Juan points out a good point. Max is 2 years younger. That means a lot too, because he's 27. Myles Garrett's 29.
Myles Garrett has had a significant injury in his past too.
He has. He has.
I don't think Max Crosby has.
And Myles has 2 years left on his current deal. and then the rest are all void through 2027 after that. So he's definitely going to want to sign and restructure or sign and trade as part of it. I think Max is still under contract, if I'm not mistaken. Max's contract is looking like 4 years, $94 million. He signed that Max has 25 and 26 left. So Max is getting paid 22 and 18 over the next 2 years. So a little bit less than Myles Garrett. But Myles Garrett's contract is older. So both around the same amount of money wise, but yeah, Max is younger. That's an interesting one. But Max has not said he wants out yet, like Myles did. I mean, Myles he's dropping the hints, though. He's dropping the breadcrumbs. He said, I want to go to. He also said, I also want to go to a winner. And he also said, shit's crazy in that building. It's crazy in there. And what I took from his interviews he's done the last 2 weeks was he didn't want to be there anymore. That it goes a fucking bubble. That he said it's just too crazy inside the building, and he's just doing his rehab. And I think Max got hurt too towards the end of the year. But Phil Bullock said we just got to hope Philly don't make a move to get him. Don't even say that. Philly's defense is already probably number one in the league. I can't imagine them getting better, man. That would be insane. With Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith and Jordan Davis. Oh my gosh. I don't know, man. I don't know. Juan says Tom's in the building now, so Max is just waiting to see what they do this offseason. Well, they hired Chip Kelly. They hired Chip Kelly as the offensive coordinator. They hire I forget who their head coach is. Who's the Raiders head coach? Do we know that yet?
Oh, they got Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll, that's right. So Pete Carroll, and then Chip Kelly. So you got a little bit of old Pac-10 out there. You got USC and you got Oregon out there. And like I said, they're looking at poaching possibly Marcus Mariota to go work with Chip Kelly, who we thought Mariota was going to get drafted by Kelly that year he was in Philadelphia, but they had Wentz instead, and it was good for, I don't know, was it 3/4 of the season? Remember they had the highest snap. Remember they ran that speedy offense and it wasn't sustainable. Everyone was injured.
Yeah, they had the highest number of
plays. Yeah, that's right. Brian says Philly puts up money. They do. Howie Roseman's very good at what he does. I don't understand
how avoids cap hell every year. At some point, that chicken's got to come home to roost.
Dude, it happens with all the teams. The Saints did it. The Cowboys are. I mean, it falls apart for everyone. But the Eagles, I don't know how they figure it out, man.
It kind of felt it happened for the Cowboys.
Yeah. Phil Bullock said they had the best gym in the game. Yeah. Hey, Adam Peters, man, give him some time. Jack says, see you next time. Signing off of the night. Jack, appreciate it, man. We're about to sign off here too. I think we're gonna wind this thing down and call it a night, man. We did all the grades today. We went through every every position on the team. Gave it our thoughts. And I think we're pretty. We're all kind of the same. Yeah. Miles Crosby. We got 87 million. We got the third most cap space in the NFL. So yeah, Juan said it. We have more money than the Eagles. It'll all catch up to Philly. It'll catch up to Philly eventually, man. It's all gonna. They're in. Like I said, you build this team and you have these windows, where I think our window is just opening. They're on the back end of their window, especially with those rookies having to get paid in about 2 years. They might want money even sooner. So I don't know.
Yeah, and Eagles fans are quietly worried about that. Like they'll let it slip that they're like, this is the last chance right here.
Yeah. You can't pay all those guys. You just can't. And then you have they're all studs. Wait till Cooper DeJean needs to get paid. Wait till Reed Blankenship needs to get paid. Wait till Jalen Carter's got to get paid. That whole defense is going to have to get paid. It ain't going to happen.
I mean, granted, if you draft well, you don't have to worry about that. You
just recycle. You keep the all-stars and you just recycle. You're right.
They get a lot of free agents and they do a lot of contract manipulation. I feel like at some point there's a point where that's got to stick.
Yep.
For sure. You're going to owe people money because they're not going to go with the program the way you plan on it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I can't wait till Sirianni's out, man. I hate that dude. They hate him. Yes, that's right. All right, guys, we're going to shut it down. Thank you all for tuning in to our episode 335. We called this season Autopsy. We gave everyone the grades. We talked about the name stand. We talked about Myles Garrett, Cooper Kupp. We forgot about Cooper Kupp, man. Would you trade for Cooper Kupp? Deb, would you?
I
trade
think
for
you can
Cooper
get him
Kupp?
at a reasonable price. He's kind of expendable right now. The rise of Puka Nacua, plus the fact that if you look at their receivers, they had a lot of guys contribute this year. They had, outside of Nacua, they had 4 receivers with over 20 catches this year.
Yeah.
Outside of Kupp and Nacua. So that tells me that they got, they could plug someone else in there. Whether it be a Tutu Atwell, whether it be a Demarcus Robinson.
Tutu. Get Dev started on Tutu.
Dev loves him some Tutu. Tyler Johnson. They have guys who could elevate in a full-time wide receiver 2 role, put up what Cooper Kupp put up this year. Now, Cooper Kupp did miss some time, but he still had 67 for 710 and 6 touchdowns.
His cap hit is $29.7 million.
Or I would rather
I'd reconstruct.
I'd rather just give money up and get Higgins.
I would too. If you're gonna pay $30 million, go get 25-year-old T Higgins.
And not don't give him no picks to do it.
So he's owed 29.7 next year, and then 27.3 in 2026.
I'm just saying that I don't think you need to give up too much to get a Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, he's 31. He's going to be 32 when the season starts next year.
Yeah, I forget he's that old too.
Man, he was a late bloomer. He didn't come in the league till he was 24, so he was a late bloomer. That's why, kind of like Terry. Ryan says no to Cooper, vet player for low. Cooper from Buffalo. Stephon Diggs is going to be a free agent too, but he's coming off an ACL as well. We shall see. Great route runner. Too injury prone. We need a big, deep receiver like Higgins. Yeah, that's right. All right, guys. Any parting words before we close out? Dev, you still watching the Knicks game over there?
Yeah, we got them beat 122-18.
Man.
Like 6 seconds left.
Wizards play tonight. I'm sure they lost, but I'm not sure.
Hey, they broke the winning streak over the weekend, or broke the losing streak over the weekend.
What are we at? 7 wins?
Something
7
like
or
that.
8 wins. Yeah. Hey, Obi scored again. Listen, there's 82 games in the NHL season. Obi has 17. I think he has 17 left for the record. And I think there's like 20.
Y'all won. Y'all beat Charlotte 124-114.
No, it's possible, man. It's possible.
Y'all won 124-114, Steve.
Yeah, it's rare. Just start betting against them. Juan says, T's been my offensive dream. Yep. Good night, Tia. Thank you so much for appreciate
25 on them.
Pro Boba's ass. Yeah. NBA scripted. Luka going to LA. I think we'll talk about it on Thursday, man. A little bit of Luka. Juan's at the Caps game right now. Yeah, man. Hey.
Yeah, Thursday's the NBA trade deadline too.
Yeah. That's crazy.
They're talking about LeBron and Durant going to Golden State.
What?
That could happen.
Right, so that smells fish like Pamela Anderson fish. It was in the script, man. NBA ratings are low. They got to do something to shake it up. They're hurting, man, because they don't have no bona fide face of the league anymore with LeBron getting older. We'll see. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like button for us. We would greatly appreciate it as we continue to off-season content. And like I said, more things will come up, and we'll be talking about everything. And yes, Cooper Flag. The Wizards hopefully will get Cooper Flag out of Duke University with the number 1 overall pick, because that man's going to be a monster.
The Wizards are always going to be the 5th or 6th pick.
Even if they're finished last in the NBA will find a way to give them the 5th pick in the lottery. It's just how it works.
They got a weird lottery system in the NBA, dog. You don't get that first pick because you're the worst.
No, but you have the best.
That's what we're saying. Is that the Wizards?
It's like even the top 3 are like even as fuck, dog. And they jump on them. It's weird. They changed.
When the Wizards had the highest chance of winning the lottery pick last year, they picked.
Y'all got first.
No, we didn't get first. We got
Y'all got second.
We got second, but we had the highest odds. We should have. I don't know, man. And then when Cleveland has like the 4th highest odds, they get LeBron with the number 1 pick. Like
the only time I remember the Wizards picking first was freaking Kwame Brown.
Purvis Ellison.
Oh, we did have Kwame Brown. That was Jordan.
Purvis Ellison was not a number 1 overall pick. He was our number 1.
John Wall wasn't John Wall one number 1 pick?
I thought Purvis was number 1.
Big 43, Purvis Ellison. He was a trade. I don't think we drafted Purvis.
Louisville, baby.
Yeah.
86.
Yeah.
38.
A lot of real fast need to change it. For sure, man. For sure. I guess there was some wrestling over the weekend. Was it another
Royal Rumble, baby?
Royal Rumble. There you go. I know. I saw people.
You know what?
tweeting about it.
Fact, John Wall was a number one overall pick. I thought he was number 2.
Kentucky.
What's purpose else in it?
Oh.
I didn't look, but anyway, Royal Rumble was this weekend. It was pretty good. I'm not particularly excited over either men's or women's winner.
Purvis was drafted by the Kings, Dev. We traded for him. I was right.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
89.
But yeah, if you're a wrestling fan, Royal Rumble was over the weekend. Your men's winner was Jey Uso. So they call him main event Jey Uso, and finally he'll actually be in a main event, and it's gonna suck because he's entertaining as a tag team with his brother. I just don't like him as a singles guy.
Like the New Age Outlaws.
Yeah, it's like the Usos are a fantastic tag team, but I don't know, just on their own, it just falls flat for me. I mean, yeah, the whole crowd does the whole yeet thing with him, but that's big deal.
Yeet.
The crowds are conditioned to react to everything. They all sing Seth Rollins' theme song. They all do. Whoa!
I saw Speed get suplexed and thrown out of the ring.
I showed Speed got wrecked by twice, 3 times actually.
Yeah, I saw 2 of the 3. I didn't see the third one.
Well, he got thrown over the top.
I saw he got speared, right? He got Goldberg speared
by Rick Steiner's son.
Over a table.
Then he got thrown out of the ring and hit
the table.
And then he got thrown over the table.
Yeah.
And he hit the table, and apparently, he cut open his leg. It looked nasty.
Ryan says Trish Stratus came back for I can't tell you how many rubs were laid out for that one.
I think everybody our age has got plenty of rubs.
Trish Stratus was a real one, as the kids say. She was a real one.
Here's the thing: if you look at her now, it's like, God damn, that woman is not aged. But she's also like a yoga instructor and all that, and all those people age well.
Phil Bullock, why you get some Bojangles and didn't share it, man? You got Bojangles last night. It just popped up on my Facebook feed. You got Bojangles, didn't even share it. Looks good though.
But the women's Rumble winner was Charlotte Flair, so she's back in the main event.
She related to Ric Flair?
His daughter.
Flair's daughter.
Bad.
Banger. Okay.
But she's back, and apparently is freshly divorced too, so she'll get a push. I don't know. Fair. I just found it out today. I was like, oh, that's news.
Yeah.
But I didn't really want either one of them to win. The people I wanted to win last night was the official WWE debut, not guest star debut, but official under contract debut of Jordynne Grace for the women's Rumble. She's a 5'3", but she's a powerhouse. Like, she is ripped to like Jesus. And I thought they would have her.
You think?
Yeah. If you were the son of God, you could make yourself pretty ripped. But if you look it up, she's jacked. Like, her and Rhea Ripley would have been printing money. Because they gave her the power, the strength spot. There's only that one spot where someone shows off incredible strength, and she did a Death Valley driver on Piper Niven, who is a damn near 300-pound woman, had her right across her back. And then, and like deadlift stand up too. It was not like a momentum thing. And then for the men, I wanted LA Knight to win, but that's because he's more of a local boy. He's from Hagerstown originally, so I wanted to see LA Knight win. I feel like that he's a dude who people love, and they just won't give him the ball, let him run, and it sucks. But so Royal Rumble is one of the biggest events in wrestling. Was Saturday night, tons of fun. We all got together in my boy's apartment, watched it as we always do on the big screen, and we had dominoes and some things like that. Just good old time, drinking pizza, eating, drinking beer, eating pizza. Good times.
No better way to do it. That's right.
Ryan Elias, she flipped the heifer and bounced off her. Oh, let me see if I find it. It's actually impressive to see a woman do this. It's not hard to find. Give me 1 second. Yeah. This is an impressive feat of strength, period. But for a woman to do this, just there it is. Oh, I got it right here. Oh, they're gonna show her entrance and then show this. But hold on, because this is. I saw it. I was like, oh my god.
Just skip to the throw so we don't get copywritten.
Let's see if I can find it. There we go.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good
that
for
was
her.
a big event. And,
yeah.
I kind of got excited though, just because Logan Paul made it towards the end, and I was just like, oh Jesus, he wins this, people will riot.
Yeah,
he's legitimately hated.
He is, but he sells.
He does, and he works his ass off. He does try.
Yeah,
like dude is legitimate. He's legitimately a decent worker at this point. Which it's one thing I give the Paul brothers, like whether it's Logan in wrestling or Jake in boxing, like they put in the effort to train and to learn and be good at their craft.
The kids eat it up. All right, guys. We're gonna sign out. We'll be back Thursday, I think, for the most part. We'll see what happens between now and then. We got the Super Bowl coming up Sunday. We'll talk Super Bowl Thursday and see what else comes up in the Commanders news. So, fellas, any parting shots before we peace out of here?
Commanders forever, baby.
Commanders.
And ever.
Till you seize up. Seize up. Hose down. All right, guys. We out of here. Thank you. Love you guys. We'll see you Thursday. Peace and hail. We out.